Two men are interested in the same woman. The first one texts her constantly, always available, bends over backward to please her, and gives everything before she's earned anything. The second one? He's different. He's present when he chooses to be, responds thoughtfully rather than immediately, and treats his attention like the valuable resource it is. Guess which one she can't stop thinking about? If you said the second man, you're absolutely right. And today I'm going to show you exactly why the counterintuitive approach of less is more creates an irresistible magnetic pull that goes against everything society tells you about relationships. Here's what nobody talks about. The most attractive thing about a man isn't his willingness to give everything, it's his ability to hold something back. We've been conditioned to believe that showing maximum effort equals maximum results. In dating, this couldn't be further from the truth. What I'm about to share with you isn't about playing games or manipulation. This is about understanding fundamental human psychology and the dynamics that create genuine attraction and respect. Over the next 12 minutes, we're going to explore 5 core principles that will completely transform how you approach relationships. These aren't tricks or temporary fixes. They're timeless truths about human nature that, once you understand them, will change everything. Here's the first truth that will blow your mind. A woman doesn't fall in love when you're around. She falls in love when you're not. Think about it. When you're constantly available, always responding, always present, what happens? The mystery disappears. The challenge vanishes. You become predictable, and predictable is forgettable. But something magical happens when you create space. Not out of spite or punishment, but from a place of self-respect and boundaries. When you step back after someone crosses a line or shows disrespect, you're not being cold, you're being clear. You're communicating without words that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. That silence becomes louder than any argument you could have. It forces her to sit with the consequences of her actions. For the first time, she experiences what you felt, the confusion, the loss, the uncomfortable question. Did I go too far this time? Here's the key. You're not creating the space to manipulate a response. You're creating it because you genuinely value yourself enough to step away from situations that don't serve you. And ironically, it's in that space, that void where your energy used to be, that her emotions begin to wake up. Because now she's not in control. Now, she's the one wondering. Let me ask you something. What makes gold valuable? Is it just the metal itself? No, it's the scarcity. The fact that it's rare, hard to find, not easily obtained. The same principle applies to your attention, your time, and your emotional investment. When you give everything up front, constant texts, immediate responses, always being available, you're essentially flooding the market with yourself. And when something is abundant and easily accessible, it loses its perceived value. But when you become selective about when and how you engage, when you have a life outside of her that genuinely fulfills you, something shifts. You're not playing hard to get, you're actually hard to get. There's a difference. The man who has options, who has purpose, who has standards, he doesn't need to announce it. It shows in how he moves. He's not desperate for any particular outcome because he knows his worth. This isn't about withholding affection from someone who deserves it. It's about ensuring that your affection, when given, feels special because it was earned and freely chosen, not desperately offered. Women can sense desperation from a mile away. But they're equally attracted to a man who knows his value so deeply that he doesn't need external validation to confirm it. Here's what throws people off more than anything. A person who's genuinely unshakable. Most men, when faced with emotional turbulence in a relationship, react immediately. Someone sends a dry text, pulls away, or creates drama, and the typical response is to chase, explain, fix, or escalate. But what happens when you don't react? When you stay centered, grounded, and calm regardless of the emotional weather around you, it completely flips the dynamic. She expects you to chase when she pulls away. She expects you to get emotional when she tests boundaries. She expects you to lose your composure when things get uncertain, but when you remain steady, not cold, not indifferent, just solidly yourself, it creates a different kind of energy entirely. This isn't about suppressing emotions or being robotic. It's about being so secure in who you are that external circumstances Don't throw you off your center. That kind of stability is magnetic because it's rare. In a world full of reactive people, the person who can remain calm in the storm stands out. And here's the beautiful part. You're not trying to control her or the situation. You're simply in control of yourself. And that self-mastery speaks louder than any words ever could. Here's a powerful truth. Sometimes the most profound response is no response at all. When someone consistently shows you through their actions that they don't value what you bring to the table, continuing to give at the same level sends a message, not to them, but about you. It tells them that their behavior has no consequences, that crossing your boundaries doesn't result in any real change in how they can access you. But when you start matching energy, not out of pettiness, but out of self-respect, something shifts. Your emotional distance becomes a mirror that reflects their behavior back to them. And that reflection is often more powerful than any conversation you could have. This isn't about punishment or games. It's about authenticity. When someone shows you who they are through their actions, believe them and adjust your energy accordingly. The people who truly value you will notice the shift and course correct. The ones who don't? Well, now you have your answer about where you actually stand with them. Here's the final truth that ties everything together. People don't value what's handed to them. They value what they had to earn. This applies to every area of life, but especially relationships. When you give your best effort, deepest attention, and strongest emotional investment before someone has demonstrated they deserve it, you're actually working against yourself, not because giving is wrong, but because unearned gifts aren't valued the same way as earned ones. Think about the things you're most proud of in your life. I guarantee they're not the things that came easily. They're the things you had to work for, overcome obstacles to achieve, invest time and energy into obtaining. The same psychology applies to how people view relationships, and the people in them. When someone has to rise up to earn your time, attention, and emotional investment, they develop genuine appreciation for it. When it's freely given without any investment on their part, it becomes background noise. This doesn't mean being cold or withholding love from deserving people. It means having enough self-respect to require that respect be mutual, that effort be reciprocated, and that your energy be met with equal energy. So here's what I want you to do moving forward. Start treating your time, attention, and emotional energy as the valuable resources they are. Stop giving premium access to people who show you standard behavior. Begin creating space in your life for yourself. Develop interests, goals, and relationships that fulfill you independently of any romantic connection. Practice staying calm and centered when others around you are reactive. Let your stability speak for itself. Remember, you're not trying to play games or manipulate anyone. You're simply choosing to value yourself enough to require that others do the same. The right person will rise to meet your standards. The wrong person will reveal themselves by not even trying, and either way, you win because you maintain your self-respect and attract the kind of connection that's built on mutual value rather than one-sided. Desperation. Stop chasing. Start choosing. The difference will change everything.